morning. It is time to get up with a mishap at Madison Square. The Knicks see one slip to CJ's Hawks. Suddenly have control of that series. Meanwhile, all eyes on the East on Thursday night. Giants and Cowboys doing the two-step. We'll tell you why both could be wheeling and dealing in round one. Plus, for the love of all things holy, can we get an answer in Pittsburgh? The Rodgers Redux leaving the Steelers sulking. What are they going to do about it on Thursday? Oh, here come the answers, baby. Let's go! We have a full house this morning, and we have the honor of Mikal Wilbon making his way to our studio for the first time in a very long time. I've got a full football squad ready to go this morning as we are T-minus 2 days and counting till the draft. We will get to them in just a moment, but we begin with the action last night at Madison Square Garden. Monica, you were there. Alan, you were there. Michael, were you there?
I was not there.
Fair enough. I should have asked before the show. Okay, let's pick it up in the third quarter because the Knicks, with a 1-0 series lead, felt like they were in control much of the night. Alan and Karl Anthony Towns in the third quarter going strong.
You would think you'd have a heavy dose of a lot of Karl Anthony Towns. He was 8 for 10 in this game, but in the fourth quarter, he only took 2 shots. Why?
What you just saw there, that three was his last bucket. It came in the third quarter. And then on the other end, it's McCollum getting called on an offensive foul.
Don't
there.
get him going.
And now we got a little tea, we got a little action, we got a little little anger. 5 minutes in the fourth quarter. Knicks are up by 6. And it's Jalen Brunson. Monica, he was the Knicks offense in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, he was. And he does a great job of getting into the paint, but it dried up in the fourth, even though he did get a couple of threes.
And then look at the ball movement from Atlanta. That's Mikal Alexander-Walker. It's a 3-point game. 4 minutes left. Hawks still down 3. Jalen Johnson at the rim. It's a 1-point game.
It's getting tight in the Garden, Greeny. It's getting tight.
And then it's CJ seeking out this matchup with Jalen Brunson.
Yeah, he kept calling it. He wanted number 11 every time. They kept switching. Look, on an island again.
CJ McCollum went nuts. Hawks an 11-0 run. They take a 3-point lead. Knicks on the other end. Down by 3. Not for long. Brunson gets it to go. We're tied at 103. 40 seconds left. What a game. McCollum getting to his spot. Falling away.
Come on.
Come on,
CJ.
That's in the zone. Like, he just 32 points. He just went off.
He was talking to Spike Lee. He was talking to everybody. Stripped there from Mikal Alexander-Walker, and now we're running.
Johnson, it's up and good. The Hawks with a 4-point lead. 10 seconds left. It's a 4-point game.
Game's over, right?
Where you going? Certainly not. Brunson going to get this one to rattle home. He would score 29. 10 of the Knicks 15 in the fourth. Knicks down by 1. Hawks forced to call timeout. Inbounding. Up by 1. CJ McCollum gets fouled. Going to the line.
He
Gotta
can
figure he's going to be
make
clutch,
both.
right?
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
Both free throws.
Absolutely. Great shooter. Red hot.
77%.
Blank.
He missed them both. Knicks don't call timeout. We'll explain why in a moment. Here we go. For the win. Mikal Bridges clangs that
Pretty
one,
good
and
look.
the Hawks complete the comeback. 107. 106. Atlanta evening up the playoff series at 1 game apiece. It's just the second time in Knicks playoff history they lose a game when entering the fourth quarter. Up by double digits. They were 64-1 entering that spot. What was their other loss? Well, perhaps you've heard of it. Game 5, otherwise known as the Reggie Miller choke game.
We don't need this morning.
He scored 25 of his 39 in the fourth quarter, including 8 in 9 seconds at the end.
Spoiler alert, they won that series. The Knicks did.
Won that
so if
series.
there's hope for Knicks fans, they won that series.
Well, this was a brutal game. And let me clarify one thing before we dive into the conversation, because there was a great deal of misunderstanding at the end. The Knicks do not call a timeout after they get the rebound on C.J. McCollum. They did not have a timeout remaining. The score bug was incorrect. There was a problem, a miscommunication somewhere. It doesn't matter where. The point of the matter is the Knicks didn't have a timeout to call. They got a decent look. Mikal Bridges clangs it, and that's all she wrote. And you said yesterday on PTI, the Hawks are going to win tonight and make this a series. What's your reaction to them doing just that?
This is what I thought. Look, I'm going to represent the non-New York point of view from the rest of the country.
Right.
And by the way, I'm not rooting against the Knicks. I root for Chicago's own Jalen Brunson routinely. The Knicks are not a great team. They're a really good team. They might flirt with greatness sometime. They may even do it in these playoffs. The disappointment, if anything, is Atlanta. You can see Atlanta was overwhelmed in some moments. Not C.J. McCollum, and he wasn't overwhelmed when he missed 2 free throws. He just clanked 2 free throws. But Atlanta, you let young teams learn. They become of age. I hate that cliche, but it's true. Atlanta figured out some things last night, and the Knicks sort of were casual. Karl Anthony Towns has to be more about How many times are we going to talk about this during the year? I hear you guys talk about it all the time. Karl Anthony Towns has to be more involved in the fourth quarter. I'd like to see some double big usage maybe in the fourth quarter, maybe more than just a flirtation with it. Yeah. So the Knicks are not a great team, not yet in these playoffs. We'll see. But Atlanta now will have pressure on it going back home and playing a home game. It'll feel different.
Game 3 will be Thursday night in Atlanta. So we went into this series talking about two things. One of them, and comes out to be the story of last night, Monica, all the pressure on Karl Anthony Towns to carry them in the fourth quarter. He did it in game 1. Last night, as Alan pointed out, he took 2 shots in the fourth quarter, 0 points. What happened?
I think the Knicks lost themselves a bit in the fourth quarter. And give the Hawks a ton of credit. A stat that I was watching going into the fourth, Greeny, was points in the paint. It was 50-36 in favor of the Knicks, and they had been dominant on the glass until that point. You look up by the end of the game, it's 58-52 because the Hawks have taken over in that category. And so when it comes to the offensive side of the basketball, to me, it just felt like the Knicks settled for jump shots and missed too many bunnies in the paint in that fourth quarter. And ultimately, it was the Hawks that were given life off of those misses.
Is this on a veteran team like the Knicks to realize we're out of whack now? This is not how we built this double-digit league. And Mitchell Robinson not available. Okay, you asked me if I was in the Garden last night. Yeah. Well, I was on the train underneath coming from Washington. So technically I was. But I get off and I watch the second half in a hotel, and I'm like, where is this team? I just watched this game on the train on the Acela. Where's this team in the second half? They should not need Mike Brown or anybody else to tell them how they have to play against a neophyte playoff team like Atlanta in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and the other storyline, but I just wanted to make sure we get this in here. C.J. McCollum, and you touched on it there in the highlight, calling out for that matchup on Jalen Brunson. He wanted it, he got it every single time, and he completely took over the game doing it.
Yeah, they hunted Jalen Brunson in these matchups, and that's what McCollum wanted. You saw defensively, of course, there, Brunson was doing the same thing going at McCollum, so it got personal between the two, and maybe that's why the Knicks offense got a little out of whack. But you see McCollum here, he was 4 for 4 in direct matchups with Jalen Brunson. That one's against Anunoby, who's a great defender. That's once you get into a rhythm. But there was something that happened in that game with McCollum where he started to feel a little bit of that Garden energy, and he started talking to everybody around the court and started getting into it, and then he was seeking out the matchup, and every time he hit a bucket, he let everybody know about it. There's something about that building that the opposing team can feed off hate better than any other place. He did it in that moment. Garden Villain, not so sure, but they went from saying F. Trae Young to F. CJ by the end of that game. That is, I think, as much credit as you can give an opposing player.
Well, if a playoff series doesn't start until the road team wins a game, that one is officially underway. Again, Game 3 is Thursday. We have a lot more on that one, plus Denver, Minnesota, as we continue with this hour. But we are 2 days away from the NFL draft, so let's dive into that. I've got a football squad ready to go today, and let me get the